where this man could be. 9 people dead during Bible study, 9 p.m. last night. Suspect at large. Police consider him armed and very dangerous. Steve Rogers, retired lieutenant detective with the Nutley, New Jersey Police Department, back with us. And sir, when you have someone who has already shown the ability to kill at point-blank range and to do it repeatedly, what is your concern now?
That he will kill again. Bill, the police are doing an extraordinary job and rapidly trying to track down this individual. They're going to gather a lot of evidence. You see the video, you see right now this fellow opening up a door. There could be fingerprints if it's a metal door. There could be DNA. There's this patch on his chest. Once the police identify who this is and capture him, then we're going to find out what the motive is. And that is going to be very important to police. That will tell us the story if this is one of those lone gunmen or if he actually belonged to a supremacy group that may bring more problems upon any community in this country.
That's an interesting point. And you don't know, and we don't know, whether or not he had help in this.
Well, that's exactly right. But I could tell you, the heart of America was badly damaged last night. And I believe they're going to capture this guy. And I hope to God no one else is involved with him.
Well, if they do have the identity, you have to think they're going through his online records, and they've probably contacted his immediate family members, sir.
And Bill, they've got to take him alive if, in fact, and we don't know this, if he had a bulletproof vest on, that means he was ready for a fight. So they need to take him alive. And yes, online records, cell phone records, past and present friends and family members, everything about him will be investigated.
You know, that's a great point, because the reporter was with us an hour ago, described the weather down there as just stifling, nearly 100 degrees. And if the weather's that hot, Chief, you've got this killer going into a church with long sleeve shirts and long pants. He, in all likelihood, was getting ready for a fight after he fled the church.
Yes, he was. Bill, I've worn bulletproof vests in 100-degree weather, and it is not comfortable at all. But this guy had planned this. He sat in the church for a long period of time, probably did a lot of thinking. You know, there are a lot of questions that need to be answered. Was he looking to target one person and then decide to take everyone out? But he left one woman there. Remember what he said to her? I'm going to spare your life so you could tell everyone what happened here. Now, that guy wanted to send a message to all of us.
That is sinister. You mentioned at the top that police have been doing a great job. How do you gauge that from New York?
I gauge it over the fact that they're not releasing information every minute, every 2 minutes. They're holding a lot of information close to the chest because they don't want to compromise the investigation. And so often we see a lot of press conferences, a lot of information getting out. And let me add this, you guys at Fox News have done an extraordinary job in balancing this entire incident. I've got to tell you, I also give you kudos for what you're doing.
Well, we like to be fast, but we also like to be right, sir. But I appreciate you saying that. Back to South Carolina then. How many people will be involved at the moment between local, state, and FBI to bring this to a resolution?
I believe you're going to have over 100 people already involved. They're searching the area for any evidence. You've got the FBI looking at the fingerprints. You've got forensic experts on the scene. Forensic criminal psychologists looking at anything they could get to put pieces together. That's what you call the criminal profiling end of it. Hundreds of people, hundreds of law enforcement people from multiple agencies. That's why they're going to capture this guy.
2 things come to mind quickly, though. You've got this upstate New York thing where these guys escaped from a maximum security prison. They've been on the run for 2 weeks. They haven't been found.
I think they're gone. I think they're out of the country. And in back of my mind, and you know, that's kind of that cop instinct I have. I think the woman that was involved, she may have been a decoy. She may have been to lead everybody off the wrong way. We don't know that, but they're working very hard up there, too.
The church in South Carolina reminds me of the Newtown tragedy, where you had people who were isolated in a room with no chance for escape. And based on the setup for this church, that could have been the case there as well last night.
Yes, Bill, and another concern is this. It's always after the fact that we learn that an individual like this put hints or evidence online that they spoke to people about committing an act of violence. You know, we've said so often, you see something, you hear something, report it. This guy could be a criminal who has an arrest record, but I'll bet you this. I'll bet you at the end of the road we're going to find out there were some indications along the way, whether he talked to people or posted things online, that led up to this day.
Steve Rogers, thank you for your input, and thanks for hanging out with us this morning.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate your expertise, and we'll bring you back when we get more. Thank you, sir, here in New York. 30 minutes.